Welcome back to another video on the channel. We've reached the final of the Qatar Open. Roberto Bautista Agut will take on Nicholas Basilashvili in today's final. Certainly not the final I predicted, with the likes of Dominic Thiem and Andrei Rublev and even Roger Federer in the draw. But these two players have done fantastically well all week, thoroughly deserved the wins, and whoever takes the title will have had a brilliant week in Dubai. So first off, I'm going to look back on the two semi-finals yesterday, and I think Roberto Bautista Agut, his performance against Andrei Rublev was absolutely fantastic from ball one to the very final ball of the match. I think Bautista Agut found a perfect balance between defence and attack yesterday. He redirected Rublev's place, he used his variations, which I said would be key in the match. He exposed Rublev's poor second serve and net play. Hit lots of brilliant winners of his own as well, which is always important on a fast hard court. We know that Rublev hits a very hard flat ball, and even when Rublev had success throughout the match, he was having a couple of games where he was hitting lights out tennis. Roberto Bautista didn't panic. Even when Rublev was having success, he fought fire with fire. He backed himself in extended rallies and had more weapons that he executed very well. I think it's fair to say Rublev wasn't at his absolute best, and he wasn't the same player as what we saw in Rotterdam last week. I think not playing a match certainly did affect him, which I didn't really expect. The timing and the forehand in particular wasn't what it was last week. But Bautista Agut just outplayed him from very start to finish, and it was a brilliant performance. It was everything that you'd expect from Bautista Agut. He had all the fighting spirit, the defence, the speed, the backhand slice, and he just picked apart Rublev's game, kept bringing Rublev into the net, and that's where he struggles the most. He was happy to extend rallies, he backed himself in the long points. I think Rublev struggled more physically than what Bautista Agut did, and it did turn into quite a physical, long match, and that favoured Bautista Agut, and he got over the line in straight sets. So now he's had wins over Dominic Thiem and Andrei Rublev. It's an excellent week already. Two of the best hardcore players in the world, so for him to go into a final after beating those two, he'll be full of confidence and certainly a favourite going into the final. Now, moving on to Taylor Fritz against Basilashvili. I was impressed with Fritz early on. I thought he dominated the match when he was serving well, getting inside the baseline and unloading on the forehand. He was hitting through the defence of Basilashvili very consistently. But I think Basilashvili done very well and changed up his tactics midway through that first set. He dropped deep behind the baseline. He looked to extend the rallies, and I think one thing for Fritz to certainly learn on is getting that consistent depth in neutral shots in rallies. He was hitting too many short balls in rallies, which allowed Basilashvili to turn the tables, get inside the baseline himself, unloading that double-ended backhand, which has just been a fantastic weapon all week. And I think the win over Federer has done his confidence the world of good. He's timing the ball very well, but he seems to be getting better and better throughout the tournament, which certainly gives him hope of winning this final. He's performing some of his best tennis in the big point, which is always important in these tight semi-finals and finals. He's going for shots and he's hitting the lines. He's hit some fantastic winners on forehand and backhand, but particularly on the backhand down the line is a brilliant shot and undoubtedly Basilashvili's biggest weapon on a hard court especially. The longer the match got on, the better he got, and he was reading and coping with the pace of Fritz very comfortably while attacking every single short ball with huge success, and he ran out a very comfortable win in the end. He played a very good tiebreak in the opening set and then ran away with the second set to set up the semi-final against Bautista Agut. So Bautista Agut had wins, as I mentioned, over Thiem and Rublev this week. He's playing as well as I've seen him, playing a hard court for a long time. He's always got that great fighting spirit, the fitness, the speed and the defence. But he's also serving very well, hitting lots of winners, and I think that's always important in a hard court, no matter what your game style is. He's adapted his game to be aggressive and take risks, and I think it's certainly paying off for Bautista Agut. I think against Andrei Rublev and Dominic Thiem, those type of fantastic, consistent ball strikers, you can't just camp behind the baseline and defend. These players are brilliant at coming in, finishing off points, particularly a player like Thiem who hits the ball so hard and so precise. You have to just use that variety. You have to extend rallies, attack yourself, and he's executed a perfect game plan against both of those players. And as I mentioned, the two of the best hardcore players in the world, so you can't really pick two better wins to get going into a final. He'd be full of confidence, and Basilashvili is a player that he really should beat. I think Basilashvili's been very impressive. You know, his backhand is a huge weapon. He's returning serve well. Certainly looks confident, which is helping him with performance. He's had that win over Federer, a good win yesterday over Taylor Fritz, coming through a sticky first set. And in this match, I expect lots of long rallies, but I think Bautista Agut has beaten better opposition this week, and he's got more experience of winning finals. And I've just been so impressed with his attack, defence, and all-round game. So I'm going to go with Bautista Agut to win this one in straight sets. But I am interested in watching this final. You know, you don't see many finals containing Basilashvili and Roberto Bautista Agut, so it'll be good to see one of those be rewarded for what they both played fantastically well this week. So it'll be good to see that one of those rewarded with the title, and the other one can leave this tournament after playing fantastically well all week and having some good wins, and hopefully go on and have a good 2021 season. So yeah, I've enjoyed covering this tournament so far. Thoroughly looking forward to today's final, and not sure what the next tournament is I'll be covering on the channel. Have to look at the schedule. Perhaps I think there's another tournament in Dubai coming up, which Federer's just pulled out of, unfortunately. I think he's just doing more training, which is probably a good idea. Andy Murray as well has pulled out of Dubai after having his fourth child, so congratulations to Andy. But I may be covering that tournament on the channel, so if you have enjoyed this video and this content this week, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be bringing lots more content very soon. Thanks for watching another video, and I will see you on the next one.